Black King Bar and Spell Immunity in general got a pretty significant rework in 7.33. Spell Immunity is now defined as Debuff Immunity. The summary of this change is, spells or items that previously gave Spell Immunity, like Juggernaut's Blade Fury or BKB, now give the user increased magic resistance and prevent pure damage and reflected damage completely. This means all spells can now be used on a target who is debuff immune, even spells that don't pierce debuff immunity. Spells will still apply all of their debuffs on the target for their full duration, and will now do damage to the debuff immune target. If Venge uses BKB, previously a stun from Earthshaker wouldn't affect her at all, but now if Earthshaker stuns her while she has BKB active, it'll damage her through BKB and apply the negative effect, in this case a stun, for its normal duration. Although the negative effect of a stun is present, Venge isn't actually stunned since BKB is active. If BKB ends while a spell's negative effect still has some remaining duration, the negative effect will be applied once BKB ends. So, for the situation where you need to perfectly time a stun at the end of a BKB, it doesn't need to be so perfect anymore. If you use your stun a little before BKB ends, it'll apply some of the stun duration when BKB ends, allowing you to reliably lock down your target. It's the same for spells that apply a slow. The slow won't be applied on a BKB target until the BKB's duration ends, but damage still goes through the BKB target, canceling things like Blink Daggers and Urn Heals. You can still use BKB and TP to get out, but like before, if a spell pierces Spell Immunity, now known as Debuff Immunity, your TP will be cancelled. BKB and atypical abilities that previously gave Spell Immunity, like Lion's Shard or Marcy's level 25 talent, now give 50% magic resistance. Juggernaut's Blade Fury and Lifestealer's Rage give 80% magic resistance. What about spells that pierce Debuff Immunity? In those cases, the spell will apply their effect and deal damage while ignoring the 50% magic resistance that's granted by BKB. Here's an example. Beastmaster uses Roar on a BKB'd unit. Roar pierces debuff immunity and does magic damage, so the stun will be applied immediately, and the damage from Roar will also be applied, ignoring the additional 50% magic resistance that BKB offers when active. I mentioned earlier that debuff immunity will prevent pure damage. If you have BKB active and a Silencer is hitting you with glaives, which do pure damage, you won't take pure damage from those hits. If a Bane uses Fiend's Grip on you, which does pure damage and also pierces debuff immunity, you'll be stunned and take 100% of the pure damage. Using BKB still applies a dispel. If you use BKB after a negative effect has been applied to you, like Quap's Shadow Strike, which does damage over time and slows you, Shadow Strike will be dispelled. If Shadow Strike is used on you after you use BKB, the slow won't be applied until BKB ends, but the damage from Shadow Strike will hurt you through BKB, cancelling Blink Daggers. Is this a buff or a nerf for BKB? That depends on who you ask, but I think the overall consensus has been that it's a nerf. Being able to ensure a target is stunned right after their BKB ends, and magic damage being able to go through BKB, cancelling Blink Daggers, are pretty big changes. That being said, maybe they're good changes for the game that'll result in interesting strats and builds. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think about the Spell Immunity change. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new with me.